and imaginary parts, the hyperbolic tangent function tan h alpha plus I beta. Here we can make use of the identity tan ix equals I times tan hx, from where we have tan hx equals tan ix upon I. This is obtained by just taking I as denominator to the LHS along with tan ix. Now if we multiply numerator and denominator of this expression using I, numerator becomes I tan ix and denominator becomes I square. We have I square equals minus 1 and the minus 1 in the denominator can be taken to the numerator. Therefore, we obtain tan hx equals minus I times tan ix. When this identity is now used in the given hyperbolic tangent function, we may rewrite tan h alpha plus I beta as minus I times tan I alpha plus I beta, using the relation tan hx equals minus I times tan ix. Now we multiply I inside the parenthesis and we obtain tan I alpha plus I square beta. I square is replaced by minus 1 and we have tan h alpha plus I beta equals minus I times tan I alpha minus beta. Tan x can be written as sin x upon cos x. Therefore, tan I alpha minus beta can be written as sin I alpha minus beta upon cos I alpha minus beta. If we multiply numerator and denominator of this expression using 2 cos I alpha plus beta, we can rewrite tan h alpha plus I beta in this format, and we now make use of the trigonometric relations. 2 cos A sin B can be written as sin of A plus B minus sin of A minus B. When this identity is applied in the numerator, treating I alpha plus beta as A and I alpha minus beta as B, we have the numerator rewritten as sin I alpha plus beta plus I alpha minus beta, which is sin of 2I alpha. A minus sign appears in the numerator because of the minus sign in the identity, and the next term is obtained by sin of I alpha plus beta minus I alpha plus beta. Therefore, we obtain the second term in the numerator as sin 2 beta. In the denominator, we make use of the identity 2 cos A cos B equals cos A plus B plus cos A minus B, where A is I alpha plus beta and B is I alpha minus beta. When we apply the standard identity to the denominator, our denominator becomes cos I alpha plus beta plus I alpha minus beta, which is cos 2I alpha. In the denominator, we have a plus sign which appears from the identity, and the next term in the denominator is obtained by cos I alpha plus beta minus I alpha plus beta, which is cos 2 beta. We have a minus I multiplied to all this expression, which comes from the relation we have proved. Since we have sin I alpha equals I times sin h alpha, we can replace sin 2I alpha by I times sin 2h alpha. Also, we have cos I alpha equals cos h alpha. Therefore, cos 2I alpha can be replaced by cos 2h alpha. Now we have tan h alpha plus I beta expressed in terms of hyperbolic tangent function sin 2h alpha and hyperbolic cosine function cos h2 alpha. Now we multiply minus I2 inside the brackets of the numerator. When I is multiplied along with minus I, this becomes minus of I square. Since I square equals minus 1, we have minus 1 into minus 1 becoming positive 1. Thus, the first term will become positive. When minus I is multiplied along with this minus sign, which appears along with the second term of the numerator, it becomes positive I. Now we can separate the real and imaginary parts in the RHS. We have the real part given by sin 2h alpha upon the denominator cos h2 alpha plus cos 2 beta, and the imaginary part given by sin 2 beta upon cos h2 alpha plus cos 2 beta.